cosmic wanderers. Welcome back to my astrology blog, the place where astrology meets attitude. I'm Maya Cat, and today we're shining a light on transformative energy of 3 years karmic journey for Taurus. Think of it as your personal roadmap through the stardust from 2025 to 2028. There's plenty of fire in the forecast, but also golden opportunities. As usual, my wise co-host Brian is here to unpack it all. Snuggle up, sip something warm, and let him work his magic.
Thanks, Maya. You always know how to spark curiosity. Let's uncover exactly how these astral alignments will shape our paths and why embracing change could lead to magic. Taurians, welcome to a tale woven by the stars. A cosmic saga that will shape your next 3 years. This is the story of Saturn, the karmic teacher knocking on your celestial door, and not just any knock. This is the universe tapping you gently but firmly on the shoulder and saying, it's time. Now, Saturn is no party planet. He's the strict professor who makes you write 10-page essays in cursive while it's snowing outside. But he's also the one who ensures you graduate with honors, wisdom, and maybe a few grey hairs. For Taurians, he's preparing to enter your first house in April 2028, bringing with him the winds of transformation. Think breakups, marriages, relocations, new babies, or even a career U-turn that would make your younger self gasp. Saturn doesn't twinkle with charm like Venus or roar with passion like Mars. No, Saturn is the quiet force behind your life's architecture. The one who builds foundations, sets boundaries, and whispers in your ear, this must be earned. It rules over structure, discipline, responsibility, maturity, and long-term planning. In short, Saturn is the universe's way of saying, you want success, growth, meaning? Then build it, brick by brick, lesson by lesson. When Saturn transits through a house in your natal chart, it shines a spotlight on that area of your life. It asks questions like, are you living authentically here? Have you built solid ground beneath your feet? Are you taking responsibility for your role in this chapter? It's not punishment, it's precision. Saturn doesn't care about shortcuts. It wants quality, commitment, and integrity. So if something is shaky in that sector of your life, expect Saturn to gently, or not so gently, tap it with its cosmic hammer and ask you to rebuild it stronger. But before all that glorious chaos begins, there's a prelude, a 3-year overture known as the 12th house. Yes, that mysterious, foggy, and deeply spiritual sector of your chart is where Saturn will be setting up shop until then. So, what does that mean for you? Buckle up, because we're diving into the metaphysical ocean of endings, beginnings, and everything in between. Now, why does this process take roughly 3 years? Well, Saturn moves slowly, like a wise old owl, perched high above the chaos of the cosmos. It takes about 29.5 years to orbit the sun. That means every 2.5 to 3 years it spends in one zodiac sign and one house of your chart before moving on. 3 years might sound like a long time, especially in our fast-paced world where we expect instant results. But think of it as a cosmic apprenticeship. Imagine you're learning a new skill, baking bread, playing guitar, mastering a language. You don't wake up fluent after one day. It takes repetition, patience, and persistence. Saturn gives you that time, not to rush, but to refine. Each year of the transit offers a different layer of growth. Year 1, awareness. Saturn shows up and starts asking questions. You feel pressure, perhaps confusion, or a sudden need to reevaluate. Year 2, action. Now you understand what needs to change, so you start doing the work. This is the sweat and tears phase. Year 3, mastery. You begin to see the fruits of your labor. The lessons crystallize. The structures you've built become part of your foundation. By the end of the 3-year cycle, you're not the same person who began it. You've grown, not just older, but wiser. The 12th house, the universe's closet of secrets. Imagine your life as a vast library filled with dusty books from past lives, forgotten dreams, and emotional clutter you swore you dealt with in therapy. That's the 12th house. It's the realm of endings, hidden enemies, solitude, spirituality, subconscious patterns, and yes, sometimes even literal hospitals or prisons, though let's hope it doesn't get that dramatic. And now Saturn is walking through that library with his clipboard, checking off boxes, demanding receipts, and asking you to explain why you kept that broken toaster from 2003. Because Saturn doesn't do clutter. He comes to tidy up your karma, to close loops, and to make sure you don't take emotional baggage into your next big chapter, like some people drag old suitcases through airports. What to expect during a Saturn transit? Depending on the house Saturn touches in your chart, here's what you might experience. Increased responsibility. You may be asked to step up at work, manage a team, or take charge of a situation. Delays and obstacles. Saturn slows things down to test your patience. Projects stall, permits take forever, deals fall through. But these delays are meant to make you rethink your approach. Restructuring life. Old ways of doing things no longer serve you. Saturn forces you to upgrade your habits, your relationships, your goals. Health and discipline. Saturn governs bones, joints, teeth, and routines. Your body might demand more attention, or your schedule might require more structure. Maturity and wisdom. You'll grow up, not just in age but in mindset. You'll stop chasing fluff and focus on what truly matters. Endings that make space for new beginnings. Saturn ends what must end. Toxic relationships, dead-end jobs, false beliefs, so better things can rise in their place. That's the 12th house for you. It resurrects the past like a ghost wearing outdated fashion and asking for closure. And Saturn, he's the stern librarian, making sure you return every book you ever borrowed, even if it was in another lifetime. So what can you expect when Saturn checks into your 12th house hotel? First, prepare for endings. Not necessarily sad ones. More like gentle goodbyes to relationships, jobs, or habits that no longer serve your soul. Saturn is not about quantity, he's about quality. So, your social circle might shrink, but the friends who remain, they'll be the real ones. The kind who show up with wine and tissues when you need them most. Second, welcome the inner journey. Therapy sessions may become your new yoga class. You might start meditating at sunrise or finally read that self-help book everyone keeps quoting. Saturn in the 12th house loves structure, so expect routines, morning affirmations, nightly journaling, and perhaps a 3-year course on shadow work that ends with you writing a memoir titled Who Even Was I Before 2025. Third, travel, but not the insta-vacation kind. Think remote islands, isolated retreats, or even extended stays in foreign lands where you speak zero of the language and accidentally insult someone with your hand gestures. Saturn in the 12th house likes journeys that challenge you, spiritually and emotionally. Oh, and inheritance? Sure, maybe. Or perhaps you'll inherit your grandmother's vintage pearls and realize they were the missing piece in your style evolution. Either way, Saturn rewards patience, especially when it involves paperwork, legacies, and things that smell faintly of dust and nostalgia. What about love, career, and my favorite playlist? Ah, yes, the juicy stuff. In love, Saturn teaches lessons. If your relationship has been coasting on autopilot, expect a reality check. Maybe you'll part ways, or maybe you'll commit harder than ever. Either way, Saturn won't allow illusions to linger. He wants truth, loyalty, and effort. The holy trinity of grown-up love. Career-wise, you might find yourself drawn to behind-the-scenes roles. Counseling, editing, research, or anything involving deep focus and minimal drama. If you're in the healing arts, education, or creative fields, this could be a golden era. Saturn in the 12th house blesses those who serve quietly, who build foundations others can stand on. As for music, think ambient playlists, lo-fi beats, and songs that feel like a warm blanket after a long day. This isn't the time for loud parties. It's the season for candlelit baths and reading philosophy while sipping herbal tea. You don't learn discipline overnight, you don't build a career in a weekend, you don't restructure your life without trial, error, reflection, and repetition. Saturn's rhythm is slow, deliberate, and deeply formative, like roots growing beneath the soil before a tree ever shows its leaves. Think of it like planting a tree. You don't plant it and expect fruit next week. You water it, prune it, protect it from storms. Over time, it grows strong and eventually it bears fruit, sometimes years later. Saturn transits are that process. They're not about quick wins, they're about legacy. Here's a sneak peek. Saturn will dip into your 12th house briefly this year, from late May to early September 2025. Consider this a trial run. Use these months to test drive your new mindset, declutter your space, and reflect on what needs releasing. Then in February 2026, he'll officially move in, and stay until mid-2028. Many of you have already felt this energy shift. Maybe you've cancelled plans, taken a step back from social media, or suddenly lost interest in small talk. Trust that instinct. Saturn is nudging you toward depth, not distraction. Looking back to move forward. If you were around in the late 90s, think back to that time. What themes were present? Who walked into or out of your life? Saturn is now revisiting that same cosmic territory, offering a chance to complete what was left undone. History doesn't repeat itself, it rhymes, and now you have the opportunity to rewrite the ending. Final thoughts: embrace the Saturnian slow burn. This 3-year chapter may not look flashy from the outside. There won't be many red carpets or viral moments, but inside you'll be building a cathedral of self-awareness, resilience, and quiet strength. You may lose weight, gain wisdom, or discover a passion for ancient history or archaeology. If your kid starts dragging you to ruins, you may open a wellness center, launch a spiritual podcast, or simply learn how to sit with silence without reaching for your phone. So why is Saturn important? Because it teaches us how to live with purpose, dignity, and depth. It strips away illusion and invites us to build lives that matter, not just now, but for decades to come. And why does it last 3 years? Because true growth cannot be rushed, like wine aging in a cask or a mountain rising from the earth. The best things in life take time. So when Saturn knocks on your door, don't hide, open it, offer it tea, listen carefully, take notes, because Saturn isn't just visiting, it's mentoring. And what it teaches you during these 3 years will echo throughout your life. Whatever path you walk, remember, Saturn rewards discipline, patience, and integrity. So take this time to heal, release, and prepare, because when Saturn enters your first house in 2028, you'll want to be standing tall, clear-eyed, and ready for your next great adventure.
And boom, another episode bites the dust. The universe is sending signals, but it's up to you to tune in. If you found this video helpful, show some love with a like, subscribe so we can keep exploring together, and leave a comment to tell us your thoughts. Until next time, stay bold, stay bright, and keep dancing to the rhythm of the cosmos. Meow FF.